Nadeem Azhar, author of the book Coming to America. Here's a passage from the chapter called Awareness. This all happened in Pakistan when I was about 17 years old. One day, I got up to brush my teeth. I stumbled backwards, hit my head on the edge of a table, and passed out. I don't remember any of this, but this is what my family tells me. I was rushed to the hospital by my brother and my father, and after a few days, I was pronounced dead. And I was dead for more than 10 minutes. And then they said that I was in a coma. And to take me home, make me comfortable, they could not give anybody a timeline when I would wake up. I remember glimpses of images and shadows. And I remember I woke up in our living room, looking through this door and seeing these shadows kind of moving around. I think my eyes were still adjusting, and I could not remember my father or my mother or my brother. Slowly over time, those memories came back. The long-term memories came back. The short term was totally shot. So much so that my friends would come over and talk to me, and they would get pissed off because I would keep asking them the same things over and over again. But for me, I had never asked them. It was that bad. Some of you are probably thinking, did I see the light at the end of the tunnel or anything like that? I did not. I don't remember anything. For me, it's like that time does not exist. Before then, it was Nadeem 1.0. After then, it was Nadeem 2.0. This was the inflection point that really made me who I am today. I had to question everything from this point onwards. I remember some of the memories that started to come back were from us in Tanzania, in Africa, and us going on these safaris and seeing these wild animals and all of that. I did not know if that was true. I had to ask my parents, and they confirmed that these were real memories, that this all happened. There were memories from when we were in Malaysia. The one memory that I have not confirmed, and I don't know how I would even confirm is, but I remember when I was younger that I had this desire to make a difference in the world. I imagined myself growing up and making a difference in the world. And I don't know if that's a real memory or if the mind is just filling some gaps. I don't even know how to ask my parents, because this is what I used to think when I was younger, before the incident. But after the incident, this desire just gained a whole different perspective. And I know I had to make a difference in the world. Fortunately, I have always been good with technology. I remember when I was a young boy, computers first came out, and I got a computer, and other kids would be playing games on their little Game Boys or whatever they're called. They weren't Game Boys back then, but they were these little toy things. And we had a computer. Initially, my dad didn't want to get us a computer because he thought, oh, the kids are going to just play games on it and waste their lives. But really, we kind of understood how computers worked and started thinking in computer logic. And the good thing that came out of that was, about that time, I wanted to apply to get a visa to come to the US to study computer science. And during the process of applying for a visa, I became friends with the newly appointed vice consul at the US Embassy. Now you have to remember, all these guys, they are CIA. They are always looking for information. And one day, my friend's father came over. He was a brigadier in the Army. And he heard from his son that I had a computer and I was really good with computers. The Army couldn't figure out how to copy data from a 5/4 inch disk to a 3.5 inch disk. And so he brought over these disks so I can make a copy for him. And I did make a copy of that disk, but subconsciously, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just made a copy of the disk onto the hard drive of my computer as well. Maybe the fact that one of his guards followed me to my room kind of gave me the idea that it must be something important on these disks. So I copied it to my hard drive, and when I applied for that US visa, to increase my chances of getting a visa, I gave a copy of that disk to the vice consul at the embassy. I was thinking I was going to get that visa, sure shot, right? But my visa was denied. And in Pakistan, when you're a young boy and your visa gets denied, that's it. You don't get second chances. I was really bummed out. The thought did occur to me that maybe the vice consul denied me a visa because he wanted me to stay in Pakistan so I can keep supplying him the information that I gave him. Because that information was a real feather in his cap. That disk that I gave him had battle plans for the Pakistani army for attacking India along the border. So this was like an international incident that got prevented. And that thought did occur to me that maybe this was intentional on his part. So the next thing that I did is I told him that there's an RFP from the Pakistani army to procure new state-of-the-art computer equipment. And the only place I can get that is from the US. I need to go to the US, get this computer equipment, supply it to the army, and then we will have steady flow of information from the army. He gave me a 15-day visa, and that's all that I needed. Everything that happened from that one incident is all linked. And I really believe that a human is two parts: the physical body and the awareness. Some people call it the soul, some people call it the spirit, whatever you want to call it. We are all made up of two parts. The physical body always stays in this plane, but the awareness can transcend planes. For some of you who believe in life as a simulation, think of the body inside the simulation and awareness that can be either inside or outside the simulation. And that incident separated those two things for me. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will continue onwards. I will slowly post this stuff in passages over time. I really appreciate your feedback. Hope everybody has a great day.